Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the second day of Innovation and Inspiration at TechFusion GCC 2023. I'm Sohail, your guide to this accelerating journey, proudly hosted by FINAP Worldwide Bahrain under our pioneering Gulf Platform Solutions platform. It is not just about connecting, it's about igniting a spark of possibilities and exploring the limitless horizons of technology together. By joining forces with industry giants like Hilal Computers in Bahrain and Hilal CTTC in Saudi Arabia, we are here to propel your business into a future where digitalization isn't merely a choice. It becomes your competitive advantage. Get ready for a deep dive into a session filled with practical insights and transformational strategies that are custom tailored just for your business. At FinUp Worldwide Bahrain, we are not merely developing solutions, we are pioneering a transformation through our GPS platform. This endeavor transcends mere projects. It embodies our unwavering dedication to linking every ambitious intellect in the Gulf with state-of-the-art technology. In collaboration with Hilal Computers, an ICT industry titan with a track record spanning nearly 3 decades, we are driving the limits even deeper into the domain of software solutions. Brace ourselves for digital revolution like none other, economical, within reach, and remarkably cutting edge. Now let's talk transformation. Today, we are showcasing Emma, an enterprise management solution. Emma is an ecosystem for any type of event, making the job of an event manager as easy as possible. Emma will quickly become an essential member to your team. Combining the best features of all other platforms, Emma provides perfect assistance to help you to reach your event objectives via workflow automation. Let me hand over the stage to Tushari Gamage, our esteemed FinUp consultant, who will walk you through the incredible capabilities of Emma. Be prepared. Over to you, Tushari.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Zuhail. I'll take it from here. Let me share my screen. So I will be, like Zuhail said, I will be presenting Emma to you. Can someone confirm whether you all can see the screen so I can start on and move ahead?
Yes, Tarush, it's clear.
Okay. So I'll be presenting Emma. Zuhail actually gave a very brief introduction to what the platform is. This is, of course, an enterprise collaboration platform. So we'll get to know what are the features and what sort of functions we can deliver through Emma and what are the added advantages that you will get by using Emma. So moving on to my slides. So normally, when we talk about the challenges that is confronting industries today during specifically meeting management or during meetings is the manual process. Let's say you have a very important meeting in your organization. There is so much of preparations to do. There are so much of you have to send invitations, you have to generate a link, and you have to call and get the confirmation for the participation, then creating an agenda which would actually amend a couple of times before actually doing the meeting, and actually scheduling the meeting, booking the meetings for each and checking on each and every member's calendar and booking it. So that is actually a very kind of a hassle if that everything cannot be done in a single platform. So that is actually one of the main disadvantages or one of the main hassles that we come across when we actually do this meeting management whole thing through a manual process. And lack of security. Let's say your meeting involves some certain documentation which includes actually very high importance, or let's say which you should actually maintain certain level of confidentiality. If you are using hard let's say papers or like stationaries, papers, of course, there is a possibility that there can be corporate information security leakage. So in that aspect, in order to actually whatever the data when it comes to the corporate aspect not to be exposed to other third parties, that is again actually going to be kind of a challenge for organizations. Let's say it's going to be for board meetings or for strategic planning meetings, or it's going to be an important HR meeting. If whatever the papers or whatever the decisions that you might be talking or explaining or you're going to submit is in a hard paper and you're going to get it printed and you're going to share it with the other people, there is a possibility that it would be actually dispersed by other people or other people can have access. So that is actually going to be kind of a threat to the security of corporate information. Then elevated expenses. Now, when it comes to meeting management, maybe for board meetings, for strategic planning meetings, etc., there is going to be some sort of a given cost that your budget of an organization will be, of course, allocated with every year. So that expense can be minimalized if we are actually using a platform for it. And significant time consumption, of course. Now, in the new normal, we organizations in the corporate world, we use virtual meetings a lot. But of course, I agree that we have physical meetings also. And the time consumption, which would be there for agenda creations, agenda changing, for paper submissions, for approvals, that everything is going to be a hassle. And of course, those are the main challenges that we actually come across in industries when doing meetings. So these are the solutions mainly that we actually suggest through Emma. So the main thing is actually eco-friendly, paperless, and a digital environment for your organization to execute meetings. Now, that is actually the main impact and the main actually the solution that we actually main point that we want to address. So our main basic aspect was to go eco-friendly, especially to stop using stop using stationery in a way which is going to be a plus point for organizations, because now we are living in a digital era. So of course we are concerning about the environment pollution and everything, and we are very well bounded with the eco-friendly concept and paperless environment. So if an organization is there who would love to embrace this paperless environment, Emma is going to be the best solution for them when it comes to the meeting management and other related areas. And end-to-end security. So we have, when it comes to sharing corporate information, board papers, and etc., document sharing, approval seeking, for all of that, security is the top point. So application has end-to-end security for whatever the data that would be entering, that would be used in the application itself. So this is going to be the best application for your organization to actually go ahead and do this meeting management and collaboration in your organization. And of course, this application would bring an exceeding expectations to the users, which includes the meeting management, and we have financial dashboards. We have a kind of a mini project management aspect embedded in the system as well. We have e-signatures embedded in it. So all of that features are there, and we have an open API layer. So whatever, let's say some sort of systems that you want to integrate the application with to co-run the system with other application is also possible. So those are the impactful solutions that we bring through Emma. So nevertheless, we have Emma. Emma is actually a user-friendly collaboration platform that can be used in any kind of organizations. Let's say you are a startup, let's say you are a group of companies, let's say you are a massive multinational company, whatever the organization type, the organization of you belong into, Emma would be the ideal collaboration platform. This actually offers role-based features, cross-device compatibility, which would be an added advantage for all the users. And of course, this application can be used by the board members, executives, the secretaries, and we have a very diverse audience when it comes to using this application in organization. So when we talk about Emma, I hope all of you all might have got an idea. So this is going to be a collaboration platform. We can do meeting management. We can do action item tracking. We can dedicate action items. At the same time, we can see financial dashboards. We have e-signatures for each profiles. We can actually add up meeting minutes. We can do all of that. So literally the 360 of meeting management is addressed through Emma. So these are the main three stakeholders that we have identified, apart from the meeting participants, who can be all of us. So we have the top layer of an organization who would be the board of directors. So they can archive their decisions, they can actually comment on the papers, they can keep it safe, they can share approvals, and they can assign action items and track progress for those. and they have KPI views, and they have separate dashboards, and they can generate separate reports based on the output that they want to get into. Then we have company secretaries. Now, company secretaries are most probably would be third-party organizations who would actually manage the organizations and the board of directors. And at the same time, so we have company secretaries who would be actually doing this pre-board activities and would have certain functions and features dedicated to do these pre-board activities. Let's say creating board meetings, sending agendas, and creating agendas, and keeping the governance of paper submission and whole paper flow. At the same time, managing the board of directors. So those would be the main functions that the company secretaries would overlook. And all of the pre-board activities that the company secretaries are entitled to do, they'll be able to do that. And they can, of course, generate minutes and action items, which we call matters arising when it comes to the board meeting concept is possible. So we have meeting management generation processes in 3 different ways, of course. At the same time, we have action item tracking. So rather than just having a document with all of the meeting action items and discussion points stored somewhere in a document folder, it's very convenient if it is possible for us to actually have kind of a effective follow-up mechanism. That is what Emma proposed to you. So Emma has the possibility to effectively follow up action items that would be discussed in a meeting as well. And then we have the meeting organizers who would actually do the meeting flows. They can also initiate meetings. So basically, whatever the meeting that organizations would go through, let's say Scrum meetings, project meetings, board meetings, strategic planning meetings, finance meetings, you name it, all of the meetings can be executed through Emma. So that is going to be this application. Emma is going to be your meeting management assistant, which would accompany you for any kind of meetings, even for client meetings, for third-party meetings that you would actually schedule with clients, that is also possible. And then we have simplified features and modules. And of course, you can share meetings and papers when it comes to other meetings also. And when it comes to all meeting participants, now including board of directors, company secretaries, and meeting organizers, everybody have single sign-on login, which would be an added advantage for all of the users. Then user-friendly dashboards and can involve external participants to the meetings. And they also have annotating and sharing features. We have PDF annotations. So what are the documents that they would be sending? We'll be able to do, the organization can be able to do these kind of annotations and share it for approvals, reviewals. They can reject the papers, resubmit. All of that is possible through Emma. So why Emma? These are mainly the points that would be there, which would discuss why Emma should be used as your meeting management assistant. Moreover, so you can easily collaborate between all kinds of participants in meetings, whether it's going to be a board meeting or whatever the meeting it is, for paper submissions, for some sort of a very high level workflow. Emma can be used as the best collaboration tool. Then you can actually conveniently merge and distribute information. You can share papers, you can share certain kind of documents, files, trackers to everyone. Let's say you can actually share some sort of a document or maybe a finance tracker to a designated person. You can gain the comments, you can comment on it. Everything is possible. Then we have the meeting management features embedded in Emma. So when it's going to be a physical meeting or a virtual meeting, you will be able to execute that easily and smoothly. And we have followed best industry practices, and we have seamless digital user experience for the users. And of course, this application was created in a way keeping in mind the eco-friendly concept, and this is going to be your green solution for meeting management. And the application can be customized in a way to adhere to corporate security policies and standards that an organization normally want us to adhere to. And then, of course, likewise, I said, we have an open API layer where we can actually do third-party system integrations with Emma, so that let's say you want to input data rather than just manually feeding that through an API, we can actually grab the data and populate it. It's very easy. And we have advanced user profile management with e-signature concept. And we have content segregations between each user group. So according to the authorization level dedicated to each user, everybody will have unique features. And then we have an approval flow management, likewise, I discussed in my earlier slide. And this is going to give you substantial business benefits when it comes to using Emma in meetings. So basically, these are the top features that we have in Emma. Starting off with in the top, we have workflow capabilities where Emma has a kind of a submission flow embedded in it when it comes to generating board papers and executing the whole paper submission flow. And if you want to customize that kind of a flow to any sort of other meetings, that is totally possible. The users can actually do it. The systems administrator in the organization can do it. Yes, that is possible. And again, we have an open API layer. We have individual dashboards for each user based on the performances, based on the actions that they have done in Emma. And we have user profile management and access control for each and every user. That is going to be a kind of a security aspect. And integrated text editor. So you can use this integrated text editor either for let's say for paper submission or for minutes generation. That is possible. So we have given you options. So if an organization, let's say, have kind of their own inbuilt or their own practiced audited, let's say, some sort of templates, yes, they'll be able to use that. Of course, there's this upload option as well. That is also possible. Or else they can create the paper through Emma and upload that as well. Then effective action tracking and notification alerts will be there once Emma is implemented and will be using. So once the meeting has been generated, each and every participant will get those information and the invitation to their email box. And once they are included in an action item, etc., they'll be there. And all the these kind of action tracking will be there, and each and every email will be grabbed, and you'll be able to actually see what's going on, what you have been involved in as well. And so far, we have the multilingual possibility as well in English, Tamil, and Chinese. And we have end-to-end encryption in order to securely share data and in order to actually secure the application, because this application, of course, summing up the discussions that we had so far in the presentation, this application will have basically the most significant, at the same time, the most sensitive data in your organization, starting from HR decisions, board papers as well, the budgets, of course. So we have end-to-end encryption that would secure the information that will be uploaded or used or inputted into Emma. And certain customizations are, of course, possible. And application can be either hosted on premise or on cloud, which the application makes it hybrid ready. And the most significant advantage in the application is device independent and platform independent. So application can be used in either, let's say, in a laptop, an iPad, at the same time in any of the devices that you might be using. And we have O365 integration, and we have universal search, and we have conferencing integrations as well. And we have a separate mobile application. We'll have a look on what sort of a feel it gives. All right. So starting off, on your right side, you'll be able to see a kind of a screen recording of Emma also. This is actually to give you a kind of a experience on the real application. So since you can see, we have O365 integration done. So at the same time, we have multi-tenancy aspect, which would address the group of companies, the users who involve in a couple of companies. If you are belonging into a group of companies, yes, you'll be able to use Emma without a doubt, without any difficulty at all. So you can use your tenant and you'll be able to use Emma perfectly fine. It's very easy. So it's going to be an effortless access to Emma through either O365 or through your login. Then moving on to comprehensive dashboards, which you can see. So we have comprehensive dashboards, which can be customized of course, which can be customized when it comes to the users aspect. The organizations can actually request to customize this. This is totally customizable. And on-demand information is there, especially when it comes to certain action items that is being dedicated. So this platform is a collaboration tool, like I said. So you can actually assign tasks. You can actually assign matters arising to each and every user. So you can actually empower your decision making through Emma. So you can actually see, you can customize the the colors. At the same time, you can go to you will be able to see whatever the models that you've been dedicated with access. So if so, I'm using here, I'll be demonstrating in a way a kind of a global administrator level access platform. So each and every user will have, based on their authorization levels, they'll have individual dashboards. So if you are a director, of course, or an admin, you'll be able to see the dashboard, the planning and budgeting, initiate meetings options, future tracker, administration meetings, and etc. Then we go ahead with planning and budgeting. If you can remember, in the initial stage of my presentation, I told you, of course, this is not just a meeting management platform, but we have much, much more in it. So this is kind of a planning and budgeting model specifically designed for the finance group of your organization and for the C levels and the directors who are the decision makers of the organization who actually wants to have a high level analysis of the P&L or the finances of your organization. So if an organization, of course, uses a tool or a software which actually manages their finances in the organization, what is possible here is rather than entering manual data, we'll be able to grab an API and get the data, and we can give the opportunity for the directors or the finance team or the C levels who are the decision makers to quickly go and see an analysis. Okay, what is the possibility of the sales? At the same time, what is the compare and contrast when it comes to the Q1 sales, Q2 sales? What is the profit? How was the loss? And how we can mitigate this. So based on those platforms, we'll be able to actually see what sort of possibilities, what sort of advantages or disadvantages that can be that can happen. At the same time, what sort of chances are there to change whatever the sales or to impact the sales of your organization. That is also possible. Here we normally actually visualize the financial data so that the organization users who are dedicated with this user level can actually play with the data and see the contrast and compare it. Then role-based access and control. So each and every user, so under the in the initial setup of the application under administration, of course, we'll be able to dedicate each user according to the certain functions that they want to deliver through Emma. They'll be able to actually categorize into certain user groups. So based on the action items or based on the authorizations on these user groups, they'll be able to actually go ahead and do certain functions in the application. Here you can see, so we have e-signatures in the system as well. But if your organization is actually using, let's say, DocuSign or other sort of digital signatures, yes, we'll be able to actually integrate with those parties and we can give that facility to the documentations or the board papers that would be shared as well. Of course, now this is a meeting management platform. So of course, we can actually do meeting management as much as we can actually do initiate meeting options also. So whether the meeting is physical or virtual, there is a possibility that you can actually go ahead and schedule a meeting. At the same time, I want to highlight that, of course, we have the option to schedule Microsoft Teams meetings and Zoom meetings, and we have the inbuilt generated in a way which is in-house generated platform for video for, let's say, virtual conferencing, which we called Beam, which is going to be a complementary package for the users of this application, or when we actually give this application, it will be bundled with Beam as well, where this is going to be a much similar platform like Zoom, but with no restrictions, with no time limits, or with no counted participant amount. So that is going to be kind of a good collaboration platform. So if an organization has some sort of a client base where they don't actually use either Microsoft Teams or Zoom, yes, they can use Beam as their collaboration platform to go ahead and schedule the meeting and execute the meeting. That is possible. And of course, the meeting, once you initiate the meeting, of course, it's very important that it needs to have a strong agenda. So we have a specific, let's say, a special agenda creation option where they'll be able to, create the agenda, and at the same time they can tag the agenda so that everyone who sees the agenda, they'll have a quick understanding. Okay, this is going to be an approval required agenda item that will be discussed. It's going to be a highly sensitive or a confidential action item discussed. Likewise, you'll be able to see that. Then future tracker. So this is more of a very high level action item tracking option that the application actually gives to the users. So whatever the action items, let's say whether it's going to be a project related task or whether it's going to be some sort of an action that would be coming from the C levels or the directors, they'll be able to actually dedicate that to a subordinate or to an employee, and the system will actually do the follow up through it. So let's say if you want to do kind of like high level project management, that aspect also will be catered through Emma. So Emma will actually monitor the to-dos and actually do the task progresses as well. So the to-dos will be whatever the things that they want to actually add up when it comes to an individual performance base. And you will be able to actually filter out the data by projects, departments, and KPIs. And we'll be able to export data to a Excel file as well. So that later on, when it comes to analysis, it will be easy. And this is the mobile application. I just added this up just to give you kind of an understanding of what the mobile application is all about. So through Emma, we actually promote governance over meeting management, and this is more of a collaboration platform that we promote. So either it's going to be an iOS device or an Android device that the employee is using. Yes, Emma mobile application supports either ways, and they'll be able to have the access to collaborate, to manage meetings, and to share documents, to give access, to reject papers, accept papers, all kind of those functions, and they'll be able to see their calendar. All sort of those features will be available in the application, mobile application as well. So rather than using a device, which would be a desktop or a laptop, on the way you'll be able to just go ahead and quickly see what sort of approvals that I need to do, or what are the papers that I need to approve, likewise. And this is the entire use case of the application. Let's say now we take as an example the board members with the given privileges. So you just have to log in with tenant ID, which would be, let's say you are representing a group of companies and you have to select what company you want to represent at the moment and what company that you want to go and see the data on. And you give the username and the password. And then you'll be able to actually go ahead and be into a meeting. You can either initiate a meeting, or at the same time you can participate in a meeting. You can participate through Emma. So and you can build the agenda very effectively. At the same time, you can attach certain documents and share the invitation as well, so that invitation will be reflected in whatever the calendar or whatever the email box that you might be using, whether it's going to be Google or Outlook, you name it. And when it comes to board meetings, the whole entire process is also there in the system itself. It's part of the system where board paper submissions, board paper reviewals, board paper approvals, minutes generation, that entire process is there. And then we have document annotation, commenting option. And at the same time, now we have made the secretaries or the meeting initiators life easier when it comes to meeting minutes generation. So they can actually use their own template, or they can actually go ahead and use our templates which we have facilitated so far, and draft meeting minutes and share that with the participants. If they want to confirm the minutes with some sort of other party, they'll be able to go ahead and review it, and based on the review they can make amendments and share the final minute also. So when it comes to board meetings and normally higher management meetings, the minutes will be also shared and normally they will be reviewed as well. So that process is also there. So likewise, I elaborated the workflows that we have. This is one of the workflows we have in the system. Then we have the planning and budgeting options and board paper reviewals, and matters arising as well. Let's say in a meeting now you've been allocated with an action item. The system will do the effective follow-up when it comes to each and every action item or a matters arising that will be discussed. So this is basically about the application and the high level look of the application. Now, maybe if you have any doubts or questions, I suppose you can maybe mention it in the chat. Suhail, I hope that is the option that they have.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can drop your questions down in the chat. So we can help you to, Tarishi can help you to answer your questions through looking at the chat.
Are we getting any questions? You can either type it at chat, or you have the platform called Q&A, which you can use for that as well. So any doubts, any clarifications that you need, when it comes to the user aspect of Emma, or maybe let's say on a technical basis, yes, we'll be able to answer that. Suhail, I hope there is, I mean, are there any questions which you received?
Nothing so far, Tarushi. We are waiting for, let's say, if someone has any questions, we'll wait for about 3 more minutes so they can raise the questions now.
Yeah, would do.
Looks like we do not have any questions so far. I would like to add that the next episode of this webinar series will be happening on 16th of November, and we'll be unveiling the mysteries of robotic process automation. If you need a one-to-one conversation, we can make it happen for you. And I think since we do not have any questions, I think we can conclude this meeting. And as our chapter come to a close, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our audience and the speaker, Tarushi Gamage. Your engagement in TechFusion GCC 2023 has been phenomenal. Remember, this is just a glimpse of what we have in store. Next week, we'll invite you to join us for another episode of Breakthroughs and Innovations. Secure a spot at the next frontier of the tech exploration. The link is just a click away. We'll be advertising through our Facebook page, which is FINAP Worldwide, and also our LinkedIn pages. From all of us at FINAP Worldwide, thank you, and let's continue to shape the future together. Have a good day.